today's video, we will discuss topic 2 of Interpol. First, we will discuss the different crime areas monitored by the Interpol and the Interpol's response and tools in specific crime areas. Crime against children is tend to be local crimes with vast majority taking place within the home or family circle. Crime against children. Throughout history, tinitiis ng mga bata ang physical na karahasan. During the industrial-urban machine ages, ang pag-aakalang ang mga bata ay itinuturing na isang pamilya. Crime against children ay kinabibilangan ng maltreatment, sexual exploitation at pagdududa. Ang mga bata ay ilan sa pinakamahinang miyembro ng ating lipunan at maaaring maging biktima ng iba't ibang anyo ng karahasan. Real, not virtual, image of child sexual abuse found on the web are not virtually. They are a crime involving real children and real suffering. Internet crimes. Crime against children are facilitated by the internet, the increased use of which in recent years has led to a huge rise of in-offending. Internet crimes not only can offenders distribute and access child abuse material more easily, but they can also come into direct contact in children. Traveling sex offenders, also known as sex tourism. This type of crime involves the abuse of children in developing countries by people who travel there. Victim identification. We work to identify the victims of child sexual abuse depicted in photographs and films. Victim identification, ang pagkakakilanlan ng mga batang biktima na inilalarawan sa sexual na pang-aabuso ay isang nagbubungang prioridad para sa pagpapatupad ng batas. Dahil makakatulong din ito sa paghahanap ng mga Yellow Notice. At the request of a member country, Interpol can issue a yellow notice to help locate missing persons, especially minors. Yellow notice. Sa Interpol, sinisikap nilang tugunan ang mga krimen na may international na sukatan. Para matulungan ang mga nawawalang bata, mag-i-issue sila ng yellow notice. Talang, ang ating mga eksperto ay nagtatrabaho kasama ang mga miyembro upang sagipin ang mga biktima ng trapiko at sa pilitan ng paggawa. Cybercrime is one of the fastest growing areas of crime. Cybercrime is a sophisticated attacks of high-tech crimes. For example, hacking, malware attacks, and DDoS extortion. Cybercrime. Ito yung mga krimen na nag-aabuso sa mga teknolohiyang computer at telecommunication. Yung tipong paglabag sa lugar na batas sa pagbabawal sa pag-access. The changing nature of cybercrime. Sa nakaraan, ang cybercrime ay ginawa ng mga individual o maliit na grupo ng mga individual. Gayunpaman, nakakita sila ngayon ng isang umuusbong na kalakaran sa tradisyonal na nag-ayos ng mga sindikato ng krimen. Drugs. The drug trade, ang mga kaugnay na problema ay patuloy na lumalaki sa karamihan ay mga bahagi ng mundo. Global abuse and accessibility of drugs have become increasingly complex as trafficking routes have become shorter, more diverse, and more easily traversed. Interpol response. Ang mga opisyal ng criminal intelligence officers ay nakatuon sa pinakakaraniwang ginagamit at trafficking ng mga gamot na narkotiko, cannabis, cocaine, heroin at mga synthetic na gamot, pati na rin ang mga hudyat na chemical.
Good morning everyone, I am Aldrin Abukay, BS22HA, and now let's talk about environmental crimes and financial crimes. Environmental crimes. Environmental crime makes up almost a third of crimes committed by organizations such as corruptions, partnerships, unions, trusts, pension funds, and non-profits. It is the fourth largest criminal activity in the world, and it is increasing by 5 to 7% every day. The Philippines continues to face the challenge of effectively addressing the problem of illegal cyber activity and cybercrime victimization. A challenge it shares among developing countries is in Southeast Asia and in other parts of the world. In addition to these clear and present crimes, new type of environmental crime are emerging such as carbon trade and water management crime. Now, the next one is financial crimes. First, there are those activities that dishonestly generate wealth for those engaged in the conduct in questions. For example, the exploitation of insiders' information of the acquisition of another person property by deceit will invariably be done with the intention of securing a material benefit. Alternatively, a person may engage in deceit to secure material benefit for another. Financial crime, also often referred to as white-collar crime, covers a wide range of criminal offenses which are generally international in nature. Financial crimes affect private individuals, companies, organizations, and even nations, and have a negative impact on the entire economic and social system through the considerable loss of money incurred. That's all. I'm done discussing the environmental crimes and financial crimes. Now I will hand it over to my buddy. Buddy, take it away.
So thank you buddy for your further information to your discuss, and I would like to discuss about the firearms. A firearms is any type of gun designed to be readily carried and used by an individual. It is being a barreled weapon that launches one or more projectiles, often designed by the action of an explosive. Ito yung mga dinadala natin pwede rin pang araw-araw o sa trabaho, kagaya ng mga police, PNP, Marine na nagsisilbing public servant sa ating bansa. Pwede rin itong ginagamit about sa self-defense ng mga private, gaya ng bibili tayo para sa kaligtasan ng ating bahay kapag may mga balak pumasok, mga basta pang defense. And also, firearms is a threat to the safety of citizens in any country. The critical misuse of firearms also possess a wider threat to security, peace, stability, and development. Firearms are easy to conceal and transport and offer lucrative profits to criminal trafficking in illicit small arms and light weapons. No country is unaffected by firearms violence. And
The maritime piracy is where pirates steal a maritime vessel or cargo. They also capture lives of seafarers and merchant seamen all over the world, of whom hundreds are taken captive each year. The reason they capture people is to get ransom payments to pay them.
Organized crime. What is organized crime? Definition of what constitutes organized crime vary widely from country to country. Organized networks are typically involved in many different types of criminal activity spanning several countries, which means maaring ito ay transnational, national, local. In short, isang grupo na involved sa mga illegal activities. So, this is our characteristic of organized crime. There are 3 or more members. Higher skill structure. There have they teamwork. They join illicit activity and they inflict violence. Ito ang mga pinakamalaking organized crime sa buong mundo. Una, Pink Panther. When we say Pink Panther, ito ang grupo na nagnanakaw ng jewelries sa mga malalaking jewelry shop sa iba't ibang bansa, kaya matatawag siyang organized dahil nasa kanila ang lahat ng characteristic ng organized crime. Meron itong 3 or more members, higher skill structure, meron din silang teamwork, at nagjo-join din sila ng illicit activity, and they inflict violence also. So, tapos na natin ang organized crime. Punta naman tayo sa pharmaceutical crime or pharmaceutical crime. When we say pharmaceutical crime, a major threat to public health. Pharmaceutical crime involves a manufacture, trade, and distribution of fake, stolen, or illicit medicine and medical devices. It encompasses the counterfeiting and falsification of medical products, their packaging and associated documentation, as well as theft, fraud, illicit diversion, smuggling, trafficking, the illegal trade of medical products, and the money laundering associated with it. When we say pharmaceutical crime, a major threat to public health. Kaya sinasabing threat sa mga public health kasi ang ginagawa nila, gumagawa sila ng fake drugs na nagne-negotiate sila sa iba't ibang bansa upang maibenta nila ito ng mas mahal. Kaya ko sinasabing fake kasi sometimes may kulang mga ingredients or may sobra-sobra kaya maraming naaapekto ang tao dahil sa kulang na ingredients or sobra-sobrang ingredients. Okay, let's proceed to terrorism. Terrorism poses a grave threat to national security and lives of individuals around the world. At Interpol, we run number of initiatives to support our member countries in their effort to protect their citizens from terrorism, its many forms. Expert at General Secretariat collect, store, and analyze information about suspected individuals and groups and their activities, and exchange data without member countries and other international organizations. So, gumawa sila ng committee upang may sumugpo sa ating mga terorista, at itong committee na ito ay pili lamang ng mga tao. The unlawful use of threat of violence, especially against the state of the public as politically motivated mean of attack or coercion. So, punta na tayo sa CBRNE terrorism. When we say CBRNE terrorism, it refers to the intentional or threatened one of chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive material for the purpose harming the environment, and intend to intimidate or coerce a government or civilian population to further some political or social objectives. But at itong CBRN terrorism, meron din silang mga programa na magsusugpo nito. Meron itong CBRNE Terrorism Prevention Program, Radiological and Nuclear Terrorism Prevention Unit, at Bioterrorism Prevention Unit. At Chemical and Explosive Terrorism Prevention Unit. Ito ang mga program na ginawa nila para masugpo ang mga terorista. So, counter-terrorism tools. Meron din counter-terrorism tools. We also circulate alerts and warning on terrorist, dangerous, criminal, and weapon threats to police in member countries. These alerts are known as orange notices. Additionally, the Interpol United Nations Security Council special notice is used to alert member countries to individual and entities associated with Al-Qaeda and Taliban as listed by 1267 Committee of UN Security Council, and to help countries implement the freezing of asset, travel bans, and arm embargoes. In the event of terrorist attack, member countries may request the assistance of an Interpol Incident Response Team or IRT. Expert can be quickly deployed to the site of incident to provide a range of investigative and analytical support service in coordination with General Secretariat. That's all. Thank you.
Trafficking in human being, a crime under international law and many national and regional legal systems. Trafficking in human being is a risk, like HIV and AIDS, and other sexual transmitted infection and spreading the diseases among wider society. The people are trafficked in dangerous condition. The three main types of human trafficking are trafficking for forced labor, trafficking for sexual exploitation, and trafficking for organs.
And also, I will discuss about the trafficking in illicit goods. Trafficking in illicit goods is a generic term used by Interpol to describe all types of illicit trade. It includes such practice as counterfeiting, trademark infringements, piracy is one aspect of this crime. So is selling genuine goods on the black market to avoid paying taxes. By avoiding regulatory controls, the criminal behind these activities typically peddle often dangerous goods with a complete disregard for the health and safety of consumers. The phenomenon has grown to an unprecedented level, posing tremendous risk to society and global economy. Trafficking in illicit goods is all about the global economy, and like for example about sa mga pumapasok sa ating bansa na pang daily living, ganon, na nagkakaroon din minsan ng mga kaso about dito kasi meron mga tao na nagdi-deliver ng mga goods sa ating bansa na hindi naka-rehistro, yung mga tina-travel na mga sirang mga baboy like that. And that's all for my discuss. Thank you for listening.
Vehicle crime. Vehicle crime, it refers to the theft and trafficking of vehicle and the illicit trade in spare parts. This activity affecting all regions of whole world and with clear links to organized crime and terrorism. The Interpol Stolen Motor Vehicle database is a vital tool in the fight against international vehicle theft and trafficking.
The work of art is a legal trade in which it is sustained by the demands from the arts market. It is where the theft cultural object affects its developed and developing countries. But the Interpol is raising awareness about the problem, which is the illicit trading of arts. Corruption is a form of dishonesty or criminal offense undertaken by a person or organization entrusted with a position of authority to acquire illicit benefit or abuse power for one's private gain. Individual nation each allocate domestic resources for the control and regulation of corruption and crime.